Upon reaching the sandy shores of Australia, the British Empire had one problem they did not foresee: accents. Around this time, people didn't travel. They had no way of hearing people who sounded like the other people they were going to be settling alongside in this new penal colony. It wasn't uncommon to come across people who had never stepped foot outside their own town or settlement, and thus, not only did they not hear these other accents before, there were a lot more different accents than there are today. So, what happened? Well, once these people got to work setting up their new colony, they quickly found communication was near impossible. Linguists dub what happened next as dialect leveling. The process of dialect leveling is rather simple. People from different cultures or places or just general areas with different accents distinct to that area come across each other, and in a situation where they have to deal with each other and can't leave each other's side, they need a way to understand each other, and they need to communicate. So what happens is the most similar parts of an accent with another remain, and parts that are more dissimilar are evened out to a point of mutual compensation. And this happened enough with all the different accents of England, Scotland, and Ireland that converged on Australian shores in that very moment to create what is now the Australian accent. This isn't a unique circumstance, of course. Other dialects have levelled in the past. This was perhaps the most extreme case of dialect levelling, however. So many accents who had never even heard each other speak before came together in one place and couldn't simply leave. They were on a remote island in the middle of nowhere, serving out a prison sentence of life. They had to exist alongside these other people. It's not like the settlers of the 13 colonies that would eventually become the United States, where people were free to move around those places and settle anywhere. These people were stuck there. People quickly picked up on this new Australian accent that had formed, and they wanted to figure out how. So they eventually came to the conclusion that dialect levelling had created what they thought to be the purest form of English. It's almost as if these accents were created with the sole intent of every one of these other accents being able to understand it. They believed this to be the purest form of English. English without any misunderstandings. English without any incomprehensible blabbering. That notion was quickly dismissed. The English upper class sought to make posh-sounding accents the sign of status, and only those with more posh-sounding accents would be considered to be the purest form of English. It was the form of English that was taught in a private school education, after all, so it must be the English that you should be speaking, correct? I mean, it was Royal English, King's English, Queen's English. Whoever was ruling the monarchy at the time was speaking in that exact manner. How could that not be the ideal form of English? As societal attitudes eventually changed, however, we come to the age of information. The internet has arrived, and now there are personalities like Steve Irwin or the Wiggles on the screens of people across the globe, and these people all possess one thing in common: they're Australians. The Australian accent was now more prominent and prevalent than ever. Anyone had access to anyone's voice, and they were taking notice. The Australian accent was quickly loved by everyone, yet again. Everyone realised This is a fun accent. Fast forward to the current decade, and Bluey has hit screens around the world and is a smash hit success globally, the biggest of which since The Wiggles. Produced by the ABC, no America, not that ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Australia's public broadcaster, Bluey is an animated children's show following the life of a family of blue heeler dogs. And for as beloved as the show is, it has got people talking, on TikTok in particular, about the Australian accent. You see, for as good as the Australian accent is, it does have some quirky aspects that not everyone seems to truly understand, and TikTok has been poking fun at that. Don't get me wrong, guys. I see the humor in it. I mean, I poke fun at accents all the time, but like, when you're just that blatantly wrong, I mean, we don't sound like that when we say the word nor. Nor. Oh my god. You're right. You know what? Video's off. I thought I had a good idea.